Greetings. We continue today in the second part of the opening of the fifth seal. We left off reading it in the 94th Psalm yesterday. We'll continue with verse 2. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth. Render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? All these pleas are in very marked contrast to the prayers for mercy and grace toward the offender during this age of grace in which we're living. It's also noteworthy that the request implies that the ones who had caused the death of these martyrs are still alive upon the earth to receive the requested retribution. I believe that we need to take a simplistic overview at the situation before us for just a moment. At some point in time, as yet undetermined in the text thus far, the authorities granted in the first four seals will be exercised. And the executive order, whether public or private, will go forth, and through the use of the military and or judicial authority, some Jewish believers, evangelists and or converts of their work will be slain. These will be a part of the authorized 1/4 of the world's population to be slain in seal number 4. Yet those to be slain are those who are subsequently and sacrificially slain during the last 3.5 years. Now, remember specifically, it is the last 3.5 years of the 7-year period, which is variously called the tribulation, as in Matthew 24:29, the great tribulation, as in Matthew 24:21, or the time of Jacob's trouble that we read in Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. Matthew 24:29 says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Matthew 24:21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Jeremiah 30 verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. However, we must also remember that at the same time there will be 144,000 Jewish males, according to Revelation 7, who will be sealed and preserved through this 3.5 year period. Daniel 11:35 said, and some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. From the beginning of the 7-year period, there will be some who will be deceived, and some who will comprehend the truths that will be yet unfolding. The opening of this fifth seal gives the authority to govern martyrdom, as referenced in Matthew 24, verses 9 and 10. Where it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. So this fifth seal gives divine authority to commence the exercising of the authority previously vested in the Antichrist against God's servants upon the earth. It has been accurately noted by several conservative Bible scholars that we're not given the details of the action on the earth, only the effects as they're manifested in heaven. Namely, the souls, the spirits, the minds of those now absent from their fleshly bodies because of their martyrdom under or upon the altar. Matthew 24:14 declares, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. This declares the cause of the offense, the betrayal, and the delivering to death of these martyrs in Matthew 24, verses 9 and 10. The question which must be answered is this gospel of the kingdom, the Old Testament gospel, the New Testament gospel, or even the everlasting gospel as it's mentioned in Revelation 14:6? Let me answer the question, as Jesus often did, with another question. Is there not only one gospel? As the Holy Spirit inspired Paul to state in Galatians chapter 1, verses 6 through 9, where he said, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Christ unto another gospel, which is not another gospel, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Christ. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. You see, it states that there is only one gospel, but there are many perversions of that one gospel. The reinstitution of the Judaistic religious system, which will be an integral part of the 7-year covenant, will either be the gospel or it will be a perversion of it. Remember, Jesus condemned the Judaizers of his day for their work salvationism, instead of believing salvation by God's grace through our faith apart from the works of the law. We should be able to discern the answer to the question on the basis of that evidence alone. Therefore, understand that the group of Jewish believers, evangelists, will be viewed as dissenters from Judaism, much like the Apostle Paul was after his salvation. And many Jews who became Christians in that first century, they will be sought out and persecuted in these days also. The information contained in the chronology laid out in Daniel 11 becomes very important to our understanding of Revelation 6. First, the establishing of the covenant involves Daniel's people, the Jews, their city, Jerusalem, their worship center, the temple, and their religious system, the sacrifices. Second, more than toleration, it appears that the system of work salvationism will be promoted by the Antichrist. Now, this does not necessarily mean the cessation of the other work salvationism religions, does it? Third, there will be a group who will not participate in this work salvationism religion in any shape, form, or fashion. Rather, they will instead be preaching the gospel of the kingdom. Listen closely to Daniel 11:33. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many, but they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. The first half of Daniel 11:33 teaches they will be witnesses. The second half of Daniel 11:33 teaches they will become martyrs because of their witness. This possibly would be the best time to point out that in the Greek language, both words witness and martyr are from the same root word.